You've probably heard people say that what you see on social media is a load of BS, especially in the trading world. It's not real, at least in terms of the majority of what you see posted online. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we all are suckers for some good editing, some motivational quotes, some cool lifestyle, yachts, cars, this and that. Like, it does catch our attention. People have that interest. They see it. They go, oh my gosh, whether you like it or not, your eyes, your mind is attracted to it. And so it just plays into the algorithm, the views, the way things work. And that's how it works. And there's nothing you can really do about that, at least as of right now, until people start to realize, like, yeah, this isn't maybe as helpful as I thought. And then they move on to maybe educational stuff, or they just leave that sector of social media completely. And just because something gets a lot of attention, I think we now are understanding that does not mean that it's right, that it's good for you, or it's the way. And living it myself the past 5 or 6 years, maybe the past 2 or 3 more tuned in to what goes on social media, there really are a lot of things that are said that are ultimately hurting us and hurting you in your journey to becoming profitable. So what I want to do today is I wanted to cover 4 things that are painting a picture in our brains that isn't ultimately effective in helping us become profitable traders. Number 1, which has been a lot more popular, I feel like lately, has been live trading. Now, I don't think live trading by itself is a bad thing, but the problem that we have with live trading is that you'll go on, or you'll see people who trade live, and you will see how they trade. That's totally fine. They may trade a certain way, and when they trade on live trades, there also could be a component to that where it's almost like now they have people watching them, so they're going to act a little bit different than they would if they were completely alone by themselves on the charts or trading on their own time. There's no way to really know for sure, but I think the live trading component that people are following and watching isn't necessarily helping you as much as you think. From a back and forth, shooting the shit, talking about this, talking about that, talking about maybe some psychology and some examples, that's great. But when it comes down to seeing how someone trades, specifically their style, we don't necessarily need to copy that style in our own trading, because everyone is unique. We have our own styles, our own way of looking at things, our own way of managing risk, our own way of visualizing and interpreting what we see in the market to do and fit our unique trading style. That's what it's all about. We've got plenty of videos we talked about in the past where this is a big component, but when you watch live trading, it starts to kind of teach you almost to copy or follow. At the same time, it might not be how the person actually trades. So the next time you're watching a live trading, just make sure you're understanding that this is what this person's doing. Learn how they're managing risk, how they're viewing things, how they're seeing the market, but not necessarily exactly how they're trading, because there's a million ways to trade and you don't have to do exactly what they do. Number 2 builds off of live trading, and it's kind of either a step further or it kind of can be, tied together in a way. And that's going to be signals and trading alerts. So it could be through a Discord, it could be through an email service or Telegram I see these days, like whatever platform someone wants to use. But if you are using, and it could even be from, let's say on TradingView, you can have some scripts, you can have alerts, you can have like trade signals. You can have a lot of these things. There's a lot of different ways, or a bot, that you can get signals or alerts. These are not necessarily bad, because if you set your own alerts, that's one thing. But if you're getting them from somewhere else or somebody else, that's ultimately not training you to do anything yourself. If that's what you want to do and you want to follow someone for the rest of your life and they are profitable and they have been working, you've been working with them for a long time, and it's an alert service that you like, that's great. Then that's what you're doing. But if you actually have aspirations to take this on your own time, do it yourself, copying and following alerts or copying someone isn't going to give you the reps that you actually need to understand how you see things, how you manage risk, and how you uniquely approach the market and a trading strategy. Not to mention, when it comes to alerts, we want more because we're not doing the analysis. If you are following alerts, you're not doing any of the analysis that the person who is creating the alerts is doing, right? So you are sitting there waiting, and it almost kind of creates this FOMO. It almost creates this impatience that because you're not doing because you're paying someone to do the upfront work for you, you won't have to experience. And so it's actually going to end up potentially hurting you further in the trade because you have this impatience aspect. You're never able to be sitting through trades. And now, not only are you not taking or finding your own trades, but you're waiting for the next one and you're ready to go the second you get one in your inbox. And one more thing on this, I recently was seeing this. This is a marketing tactic and strategy that you see a lot where people will promote, oh, I'm on an 8-0 run, or oh, I'm on I haven't lost this month, or my record this month is 10-2 or whatever when it comes to trade win rate. And that's great. From a marketing perspective, for someone selling a service, it's cool, great. Good for you. I see what you're doing, great. And it's true. If it's accurate, great, awesome. The problem with that is people like you and I, if you see that and you're like, oh, I got to get in, this guy's good, or this group is good. You now jump in, and if you know how trading works, right, it's probabilities. And no one goes on, a 10-0 run forever. They're not going to go 100-0. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it's very, very, very unlikely. It's actually a very good chance that in those next 10 trades, if they won 10 in a row, in the next 10, they're going to bring on a lot of new clients if they're advertising and marketing, very, very efficiently, right? But those next 10, they might win 3 or 4 or maybe 2. And that would still be really good, because think about this. If I went 13 out of 20, I would be super happy with that. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. That's actually better than what my average win rate is right now if I went 13 out of 20. The problem is someone who jumps in and now goes 3 out of 10, doesn't have proper risk management, gets in for the first time, is going in large size now because they were so good the past month. Now they're not. It, number one, discourages them, and number two, it puts them in a position to lose a lot of money. Okay? That's kind of how it goes. You don't see anyone talking and advertising when they went 0-10. But in reality, if I went 0-10 and I had a trading alert service, which I do not, and I do not plan on ever doing, if I ever did that, that would be the time to buy in to my trading alert service, because probabilities tell me that I am about to go on a much better run to bring me back towards my 50 or 48% win rate that I actually have over hundreds and hundreds of trades. Think about that. The third thing training you to be unprofitable is this mindset of 1% per day. There's nothing wrong, and I used to buy into this mindset of 1% per day. And this can be applied to however. It doesn't have to mean 1% of your account. It just means 1% better, or making 1%, or making a small amount of money per day, right? If I could do 1% on my account every single day, compound that for 5 years, and I'm going to be a billionaire, right? In theory, right? You can say. The problem is that's not realistic, A, because some days you're going to have red days. And so you could be down 0.5% or down 1%. But that's okay. That is absolutely okay. The problem is if in our heads we have this, I need to make $100, I need to make $1,000, or I want to make $100. I want to make 1%. I want to make 0.5% on my account every day. Some days we are not going to get good setups, A, and B, we are just going to lose because we cannot control how our system works day to day, trade to trade. We can say, hey, over the course of 50 trades or 100 trades or 200 trades, it does this. And so I know my numbers. But over the course of today versus tomorrow versus the next day, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to get 1% better today, the next day, and the next. I can't guarantee that. I wish I could, but I can't. Last but not least, number 4, this one is absolutely massive. 80% win rate is not realistic. I'm not going to say you can achieve that over a massive sample size. You could. People probably have. I have not seen very many, if any at all, actually verified results like that. But if you are achieving an 80, 75% win rate over a couple of trades or a month, that's great. There's a good chance that that'll even out over the rest of the year. If someone is advertising to you or telling you that that's what they do, or you can achieve that realistically, it's setting false expectations and it's not realistic. What I would encourage you to do is test your own strategies out for yourself. You will see throughout, and I've seen myself, months and years of testing, I finally finally found consistency in a strategy. And guess what? That's been over 12 months. It's been over 600 trades. But guess what my average win rate is? 48 and change. 48%. I lose more often than I win, but my risk reward is substantially better than a 1-to-1, meaning I make more than I lose on an average trade. And so with roughly a 50% win rate, that is profitable. Not massively profitable in terms of huge margins, but over time, as you scale it up, you know your numbers, you get a lot more confident, and you let time play out and you let sizing play out. That's what's more important. And I don't say the 48% to tell you that yours should be that either. I don't know what yours is going to be. Maybe you can be good at 35. Maybe you can be good at 60. Maybe you can be good at 55. I don't know what your number is going to be. Everyone's number is going to be unique, but there's a very large majority, I would say, of consistent traders that fall in the 40 to 55% win rate category. And that's not that crazy. And that doesn't seem that good. Let's say from someone on the outside looking in who's just starting, but that's much more realistic. And you don't need to strive for 80+% win rates. It's likely not sustainable in the long run. There you guys have it. I hope it was helpful. I will leave some links and resources down below in the video description box, like always. Maybe subscribe, maybe like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.